should be fine. Music doesn't seem to be too loud, so that's so great. This is my standard character for right now. He doesn't look like much. He currently has some leather armor with a torch and some daggers. So I'm just gonna start a new character and show you guys what you can get, what you can do for the game. So you have a few presets. You can modify all of those presets. But let's go with a lady. Let's be a lady. Because I don't really make a lot of female characters. So why not? So I'm going to be going with this lady. Because she looks badass. Everything's fine. Probably not go for nightgown. Really. That slider literally modify her hips. Yeah, she's thicker here. Okay, let's go with tunic. There. Make a female for a smaller hitbox. I don't think that's how it works, but it's fine. Next, enter a name. We're gonna call her Roa. Yes, I do want to create the character Roa, and the name is already in use. Let's see. Hot Carla. Nah. Valoria Invicta. Jesus. Let's go with that. Hey, good. It's not taken. So we're going to play the tutorial, and I'm going to show you the game. So, you wake up shipwrecked. The idea of the game is there's a new world that needs to be discovered, and the king sent in expeditions over expeditions of champions and adventurers to tame the new world, to tame the new land. So we're going to start off on, not in Albion. Albion is the name of the new land. We're going to start off on a island where we've been grounded by heretics. So we're going to be moving, and we're going to go towards the northeast. I'm going to be moving my face to the bottom left corner of the screen, because that's the chat, and we're not going to be interested in the chat for right now. So I'm just going to speed through this place.
Another survivor.
These are some survivors from the wrecked ship.
We have to get
They're
to
literally
the
going to be teaching me
no
the game
time to
right
waste.
now, but we're just going to go up and rush through it. The idea is we're going to be climbing the lighthouse to check the map. So we found the ship, so it hasn't been wrecked to hell. We can still rebuild it to reach the mainland, and we see that there are enemies down there. So let's go down, activate our speed ability. Yeah, I'm using the speed boost. So the reason why I have the sprint right now is because of these boots. We have beginner mercenary shoes. These beginner mercenary shoes have the ability of sprint, which increases our movement speed by 100% for 3 seconds. That's literally what gets us running like fools. And all gear, including the chest piece, have certain abilities to them. There was a box upstairs. Well, hell, now I gotta go back up there, but it's probably not nothing. Let's go. And oh, there's actually a helmet. Great. Equipping the helmet, that is gonna give me a balanced mind. Increases your damage and heal power by 1.5%, and incoming damage is reduced by 0.99. So it's kind of a middle ground. If you go with a plate headpiece, it's going to give you more defense, but no power increase. If you're going to go with cloth headpiece, it's going to give you only power and no defense increase or CC duration increase. So let's talk to the dude. The next thing that we're going to need to do is gather some rough stone, some rough logs, and return to the wounded crafter in the lighthouse. So all equipment, all weapons are player-made. Everything in this game is player-made. There's nothing that's given to you by the system. So to build up our weapons, the most basic of weapons, we're going to be needing some wood and some stone. And to do that, we're going to need to punch some trees, Minecraft style. Once we have some decent tools, we're going to be able to harvest and farm higher tier equipment. So for right now, I can just grab rough logs and rough stone. Eventually, we're going to be getting higher tier wood like cider or pine or something. I don't know. I really have no idea in the game what's higher tier because I just don't remember names like that. Remember the colors though and how they look. And it's the same for stone. We're going to be getting limestone and stuff like that. This really came out in 2017. I assume it was an early access game. It was crowdfunded. So it is going to take a while for us to get this gear. We need to grab 6 of each. We will definitely not need any more than that. Also, all players share resources. So if I take a tree, another player won't be able to take the tree, won't be able to harvest the same tree. And these do regenerate over time. So they have a cooldown. As you can see, this will slowly regenerate its resources back up. Yeah, graphic-wise, it's more simple but stylized. I kind of like it. You can rotate the map, but you can zoom in and zoom out. I like it, keep it all the way back. And now we're going to be crafting our first equipment. We need to go to this blacksmith and craft a beginner's sword. So everything needs to be done through a crafter. Practically, well, not necessarily through the crafter himself. We're talking to the blacksmith so we can use his forge. That would be the idea of the game. We use the forge, we build the stuff, we provide the materials. So for the beginner broadsword, we literally need 6 rough stone and 6 logs. And we've created it. And we can equip it by simply going here like this. Also, once you created a piece of gear, you need to select what abilities it will provide you. So in this case, we have to choose between Heroic Strike, which is a single target physical damage ability. That's also going to be giving us a Heroic Charge for each target hit. It'll increase our movement and attack speed by 12% for 6 seconds, and it stacks up for 3 times. Now, the Heroic Cleave is literally the AoE version of the Heroic Strike. It will deal less damage, but it'll hit all enemies in a radius. And for each, if you hit 1 target, you're going to be getting 1 Heroic Charge. If you hit 3 targets at the same time, you're going to be getting 2 Heroic Charges. For right now, since I know we're going to be fighting multiple targets, we're going to go with Heroic Cleave. And your ability will appear down here in the quick slots. As I said, it is quite similar to a MOBA. So let's talk with the dude. He is also going to be giving us a shield. And he's going to be asking us to equip said shield. In this case, shields do not provide you with any abilities, but they will provide you with CC resistance, defense versus players, defense versus mobs, and threat generation, like you would expect from a shield. Sadly, it will not give you any abilities. I think some of the higher level shields will give you something. So let's go to the gates and fight the enemies. Real quick like. Good, let's go. Cut these dudes open. Get the money. And beat this guy up. And the enemies follow the same rules as you. They will have certain weapons, and based on their weapons, you'll know what they're going to be hitting you with. Also, now we need to talk about the Destiny board, and this is the thing that makes, yeah, skip that shit, come on. This is the board that makes a lot of new players just say, okay, I'm out, I'm not playing Albion Online, fuck this shit. But, honestly, it's actually very simple to figure this out. So the Destiny board is split into 3 major categories. Combat, crafting gear, and gathering resources. This is based on farming, so it's another gathering resource tier. This is based on killing, and this is based on doing activities within the game. And the more activities you do, the more stuff you unlock. And this tree is literally for combat. The more you kill, the better you're gonna become at killing. Destiny board is much better than the Anthem board. I don't know the Anthem board. Sharky Nebula. Also, welcome back to the end, my dude. The two things that stop me from playing Albion are only one server, because troubles to quite a few players. Second, I really dislike PvP. You don't have to play PvP, Sarge. You can just become a crafter. You can just do PvE only. Stay out of the PvP zones and you'll be perfectly fine. There's a lot of need for crafters in some guilds, so you can just become a crafter for those guilds. They are going to be bringing the material for you as well. It's going to be very cool. So PvP is not the only answer in the game. There's a lot of PvP. Well, not a lot of PvP content, but there is PvP content in the game as well. Anyway, so currently we will need to learn to become a trainee fighter. So we're going to be using, we just need to defeat some enemies with our current weapon. And that way we're going to be able to start unlocking some of the other tiers. And again, even if you further divide, it's quite simple to manage. You're going to be having plate armor specialization, leather specialization, and cloth specialization. And next to those, you're going to be seeing their respective, well, their potential respective usage. The magic tree, the hunter tree, and the warrior tree. Yeah, I know it shows a crossbow there, but I don't know. I probably would have chosen a sword just to make things less confusing. But this is the warrior tree, and the reason why it has a bow icon is because a crossbow icon is because you unlock the crossbow in the warrior tree later down. So practically, once you've unlocked these, the Journeyman Warrior, you're going to be having access to all of these. And then once you unlock, let's say, the Axe Fighter, you're going to be unlocking further specialized axe versions. And you can have, for example, an Adept Battle Axe, a Great Axe, a Halberd, a Carrion Collar, a Infernal Sight for those edgelords out there, and Bear Paws, some specialized weapons. Like old-time RuneScape, clans had crafters and cooks of their own. Yeah, exactly like that. This game also has specialized crafters that will definitely be needed. Yeah, sure, or EverQuest. And it's the same for everyone. If you're going to be going with leather armor, you're going to be specializing afterwards into leather shoes, leather jackets, leather hoods, and then you'll have specific niche type of hoods, like an assassin, like a hunter's hood, and these give you special abilities and bonuses. Where do you find a two-handed weapon? Two-handed weapon would be in either the warrior tree, where you can find either a claymore, either go for a great axe, you can either go for a heavy mace, a heavy hammer, and that's it. And I think in the hunter's tree there's also glaives, polearms. Yeah, here are the glaives and polearms. Nature staff fighter, dagger, dual wielding daggers, and quarterstaff fighter, where you can get double bladed staffs and cool stuff. Oh, and just for those who weren't here at the beginning of the stream, just to show you guys, you can unlock more potent fire magic, holy magic for healing, arcanist for support magic, frost for CC and damage, warlock for pure dot magic, and tome fighter, which is just your offhand, which will just improve your cooldown or energy regeneration or stuff like that, or cast speed. Okay, and that's literally it for the combat trees. This tree in particular, doesn't matter what you utilize, you will always be able to contribute towards this tree. And by simply killing stuff, you're going to be getting extra damage against certain types of units. And it's going to unlock higher tiers of units for you to fight against. So that's literally combat. For farming, you can buy an island in this game that you can use for farming. You can specialize in cooking or in cooking, which further divides into alchemy for potions and chef for food. Potions are an instant benefit, like going invisible for a few seconds, or regening your health, or regening your mana in one gulp. While food is a more passive alternative. It's going to give you 100% more health increase for 3 hours, or for half an hour, or stuff like that. That's how it works. And you can specialize, and you don't need to go and become a jack of all trades, master of none. You can just specialize. You know what? I'm going to be an alchemist. I'm going to be making a lot of money from selling potions for PvP, for example. Okay, when it comes to harvesting, why you would want to go with harvesting, why you want to go for farming stuff. Farming will provide you with ingredients for alchemy and for cooking, and will also give you animal husbandry, animal breeding, which you can use. Will again give you different types of stuff, but you can also grow mounts. You can grow up mounts and sell them on the marketplace for other players to utilize. So that's something very, very cool that this game has. So that's it for that. When it comes to gathering, it's literally fishing, harvesting for fiber, grabbing ore, skinning animals, cutting wood, and quarries for stone. Stone is used for furniture. Wood is used for weapons and furniture. Leather is used for different weapons and armors. Ore is used for furniture, weapons, and armors. Fiber is used for... This is an MMORPG. It's an online game with thousands upon thousands of players that has an active community. Hey, Ganjasaurus, welcome back to the end. And fishing, I think, it just gives you ingredients, special types of fish that gives you buffs, and also ingredients that are useful for alchemy and food. And again, the more you specialize, you're going to be unlocking you're going to be able to harvest higher tier resources. Okay, and now we will talk about the last two trees. First of all, we're going to be talking about the crafting tree. It will divide everything the same way. Hey, for the fun and games, I'm kind of explaining Albion online. Welcome back to the end, my dude. So for this part, it's divided the same way like the combat tree, where it's dividing it into tools, for example. Mage's Tower Crafter, which you're literally going to be using to craft anything that's related to magic. Hunter's Lodge Crafter, everything related to leather and hunter weapons. And, of course, the Warrior's Forge, which you'll be able to craft anything related to warriors and plate armor. It's quite easy to understand. Over here for the Journeyman Refiner, the more you refine certain crafting material, the higher chance you're going to be getting to gain better quality gear. So, for example, uncommon setter, rare setter planks, or exceptional setter planks. I have no idea how that works, how you make an exceptional setter plank and show it to somebody and they're like, ooh, that's what an exceptional plank. I have no idea how that works, but still, it's fine. It's actually more focused on PvP. The game is more focused on PvP, but there's a lot of role-playing potential and PvE for players out there as well. The game is literally based on guild versus guild, faction versus faction battles, and it's there to conquer... Well, this is going to be the starting continent, but it's there to conquer this continent for your faction. So, yeah, it's literally based on PvP. Okay, back a little bit to this thingamajig. I just need to explain this tree now. Now, this is the adventure tree. Literally, any activities that you do in the game, whatever you want, will contribute towards this tree. And contributing towards this tree will unlock more stuff. It's going to give you access to better, higher tier tools and mounts. It's going to give you better types of capes. It's going to give you better types of buildings to build on your island, and so on and so forth. You get so much good old RuneScape vibes here. I grew up with Rune, and I can kind of see something like this in here. I have to put it to the list of the games you have to play. I do have to say, it is very similar to RuneScape in the sense that everything is player-controlled. All markets are player-controlled. A bank is only a local bank that you'll only be able to access in a city. So, for example, if you just store a lot of wood inside your bank in the first city, and if you go into the capital and access the bank from there, you're not going to be finding that wood. Your wood is still back in the bank in the first cities, and you have to transport that wood to the next city. and that also applies to marketplaces. It's literally it's similar to the auction house from World of Warcraft, but all marketplaces are locally to to their own city. So you can make a profit by trade running. If you see that in the desert there's a city that requires there's a need for wood, you can literally transport wood from the wooden territories to the desert and sell it for a better price, or buy it directly from the wooden marketplace and sell it for a better price. You're an OSRS player and just started this game a couple of days ago. It's fire. It's very, very good. It's quite addicting. You think I've seen this game some years ago and it was good, but the start seemed a lot of farming, things like wood, stone, and so on. No, really. There is farming. There is farming involved, but it's not a requirement. You can literally just live off professional muling. Yes, professional muling. You just buy yourself a transport ox and you transport goods, and you're good. And it is free to play, indeed. It actually became free to play. It was a subscription-based game, or I think a buy-to-play game. I'm not 100% sure on the previous model, but it became a free to play game on Steam, and it just boomed. The population boomed on it. Now, when it comes to what was I talking about? Marketplaces, transporting, and then I went to a subject. Oh yes, about the need to farm. You don't have to farm. You can just dungeon dive. You can just farm up silver, and you buy all of your equipment at the marketplace. A lot of players would be more than happy to sell the gear that they've made to you. It's literally viable within the game to just specialize into combat and never touch crafting whatsoever. I mean, I can show you how you can do this easily. But yeah, there are some people who just want to be a crafter. I don't want to touch combat whatsoever. I'm going to be a crafter. I'm going to be gathering some resources. I'm going to be creating gear that is specialized for gathering resources, and I'm going to be living in the city and just selling shit to players. Well, shit in the sense of stuff, not necessarily shit quality gear, because if you sell shit, you're not going to be, well, selling stuff. Why did I explain that? Okay. I think that's it for the board. Now, let's just carry on with the game a little bit and finish the tutorial island real quick. I'm going to show you the game's population. Okay, so we've reached... Yeah, I know. We've reached the main base where... So practically to get off the island, we need to... repair the ship that we came with, and that's going to get us off the island. For right now, we need to go to the marketplace. We need to buy a mount. Yes, this game gives you a mount right off the bat, and we need to find the wounded crafter. So, this is going to be the marketplace. This marketplace is only local to this island, and it's a system marketplace, so we're not going to be able to find everything in this location. How do you fast travel in the game? You can buy ship traveling tickets from the city in the port. So we'll go with small girl with fuck off axe with her first. We'll see. We'll see. We actually need to go with a sword, and we need to become proficient in a sword to unlock the axe. So we're gonna buy ourselves a mule. Yes, please.
Come again.
And then we're gonna be equipping that mule on our character. And now you can mount your mule by pressing the A key, but you will not be able to do any combat on the mule. And also your mount will have a HP bar. If that HP bar goes down, if you get attacked by a player and that HP bar goes down, you will be dismounted. Also, the more you run in a direction, you're going to be receiving a boost of speed. If you stop or if you get attacked, this boost of speed will go down. Yes, there are mounts in this game. So let's talk with the Wounded Crafter. There is a form of mount combat in the end game. In the end game content, there are mounts dedicated for combat. Transport oxes are for goods transporting, and there are mounts for speed, and there are specific mounts for combat.
You handled yourself well, friend.
Okay, let's see here. So first of all, we're going to be needing to build a beginner's pickaxe and a beginner's axe. This is going to give us the ability to farm ore, a tier 2 ore and tier 2 wood. So that's going to be great. But first, let's see what we need to do this.
Stick to the basics. I've got your back.
So here's the wood maker. We need 3 rough stone and 3 wood. And for the axe, we need the same. Okay. Let's go and get this stuff done. It won't take long. That's it. And then give me the wood. Also, these are already other players, by the way. These are other players that are doing the same thing as us. They're going through the tutorial to reach the main continent to start the game off. There we go. We're 7. Okay. Over here, just to explain the interface, in the top left corner, it'll tell you the tier of the item or the weapon, and in the bottom right, it'll tell you the quantity that you have in your inventory. Once we finish this tutorial, we're going to be unlocking all of the tabs, and I'm going to be able to show you everything. So, let's go. Get ourselves a pickaxe, get ourselves a beginner axe. You don't have to equip these weapons, you can keep them in your inventory. You'd be impressed if they made NPCs follow the tutorial? Yes, it would be impressive.
You've done this before, haven't
Okay,
you?
complete. Open the world map by pressing the buttons. Okay, so it's going to explain to me the map now. Next. As I'm going to be explaining this stuff myself. Okay, so currently this is the world map, and then you have a local map. We're currently in the cove area. And to explain how things work, the number next to it will tell you the tier of the location, so the max difficulty of the location. It's tier 1, it's the easiest location. The color will tell you what type of zone it is. For example, blue areas are safe zones, so there's no PvP allowed. In yellow areas, there's soft PvP, and then in red and black areas, there's hardcore PvP. And PvP is quite brutal in this game, in the sense that in yellow areas, okay, so for the soft PvP of the yellow areas, you're only going to be getting killed, but you won't be losing your loot. And the system will generate a certain amount of silver based on the value of the loot that you have equipped. So the yellow zones are quite forgiving on PvP. They're there for you to train up on PvP to see how it works and have fun with it. The red zones and the black zones are super hardcore. If you die in those zones, you lose all of your gear in your inventory. That's why it's a good idea to have some backup gear or use some shitty gear when going PvPing in those zones. And always have a spare back at the bank, or always have enough cash to buy yourself some new gear. Of course, the rewards that you're going to be getting from those types of PvP will be awesome, because you're going to be able to loot other people's gear by killing them, and you're going to be gaining their loot, their resources that they're gathering, and stuff like that. Hey Rapson, welcome back to the end. Now let's go in Cove and talk about the local map. So this is where we're at right here. Again, it's gonna tell you information on the name, the color zone, and it's also going to give you a description of what type of zone it is. So it's a safe region, players can attack you. And it's also going to tell you the type of resources that you're going to be gaining from this area. So we can gain, and it's going to give you a range. So on some maps, you're going to be you'll be able to get from tier 1 to tier 4 types of wood. In some areas, you're going to be able to get more ore. In some areas, you're going to be able to get stone. But you will never find an area where you can get all 5 types of stuff. That's why people will rely on other regions with other marketplaces with other goods for stuff. Each biome will be specialized into a certain type of resource. For example, the forests will give you... No, it's wood. Forests will give you wood, and it will give you a lot of skins from animals for leather. Deserts will give you a lot of stone, will give you ore, will give you... let's see. We'll also give you, skins, it seems. So we'll give you fiber, we'll give you ore. And so on and so forth. The mountain region will give you a lot of ore, lesser skins, for example. The swamp location will give you a lot of fiber, and so on and so forth. So all of these factions will be relying on other biomes and other locations for most of their bulk goods. That's why it's simply viable to go and gather a lot of wood from here and sell it in a neighboring faction, in a neighboring region here for a lot of cash. Big profit. Okay, but yeah, I was speaking about the local map. So the local map will literally give you what's going on, where are the points of interest on a map. So from here I can go to the northeast or to the southwest, and that would be taking me either to the Forgotten Woods or to the Mountain Fort. So for right now, what do I need to do? I need to return to Silas, complete that quest, and now go into the forest, find and gather some birch logs and some rugged hides, and then return here. So right now, we're contributing resources to the ship to build it to go back to the mainland, and that's what we're doing. So, we're going to go northeast. We're going to mount it up. Also, another cool thing that this game has that no other games have, if you go towards a resource and you start gathering it, so we'll need to, so we're in the forest now, and from here we're going to be finding birch trees and foxes. Look at what happens if I go and, this is a birch tree. This is what happens when I cut this birch tree down. So I'm going to gather it, but my mount didn't disappear. It didn't go away. So I'm just sitting here, and if I go outside of the circle, my mount will disappear. But if I just click on my mount, I'll be having a faster get back on the mount animation. So that is pretty cool. So we already went for the birch needed to do the quest. Let's find ourselves a fox. You've never actually seen an Albion gameplay? This is the game, man, and it's a very, very good one. Let's go ahead and find ourselves a fox. There it is. Get off the horse. Also, you'll have a cooldown, so you don't have to worry if somebody tries to gank you off of their horse. They'll have quite a hefty cooldown before they are capable of utilizing their ability to attack you. That's for when you're in a PvP zone. So they have to rely on other means like stealth to stealth or simply running towards you with a mobility ability to gank you. So let's get back up on our mule and return to the camp. There's all the resources that we need to gather for right now. This is just to give you, so practically the tutorial is now showing us all different types of resources that we can gather through without the world. Okay, let's go back to my boy, and now he's going to give me a different quest. He's going to give me the copper ore and cotton fiber gathering. He's going to be sending us in the mountains, where we're going to be finding those resources in abundance. And this game looks hyper addictive. It is hyper addictive. So fair warning, you are going to be playing this game quite a bit. If it's your style. If you like a little bit of relaxing grind, for example, I play the game while listening to audiobooks or just watching stuff on YouTube. It's so good, it's so relaxing, love it. Okay, we got ourselves all of the fiber we need. You're going to be grabbing fiber usually from these types of bushes. We need to gather ore. This is the copper ore 201 node. I'm just going to be grabbing whatever is necessary for... Actually, no, I'm going to be grabbing the entire amount. There we go, and we're going to go back to the camp. Also, you do have a weight capacity, so in your inventory is going to show you the weight tonnage, and also that number and percentage in the top right corner will tell you how much weight you can take. If you go over the 100% capacity, your character will just slow down a bit. But once you get to around 150, your mount will no longer be able to sprint like it's currently doing right now. Hello, Kronkoft. Welcome to the inn. Is there any kind of base outpost building in this game? Yes. You can buy yourself an island, and you can build whatever the fuck you want on that island. You can also buy or rent out plots of land inside cities and build yourself a shop. And that shop will be utilized by other players within the city. They'll utilize your shop, and they're going to pay you a certain amount of tax money or a usage fee for your shop. But yes, yes, on your island you can build crafting stations, you can build farming plots, you can build alchemy shops, cook shops, and you can definitely build, which I really, really find interesting and want to check out, animal husbandry locations. So just literally farms where you grow animals.
Back
Cool.
already.
Okay, back
On
already.
to the next task.
Next up, we're going to go to the smelter and refine. Yes, now it's going to explain to you the refinement system.
You've got this.
So, you won't be able to utilize your resources right off the bat. You have to go to the smelter to make the copper ore into copper bars. You have to go over here to the tannery to make the leather, to make the skins into leather. Over here to bring the woods, the logs to make them into planks. And over here to make the cloth, the cotton into cloth. There we go. Use the birch planks to repair the ship. Use the copper bars to repair. Use the simpler cloth. So, yeah, sure. Let's go towards the ship and repair it up. Okay, so here we're... so this is also the game's way of showing you how you're going to be building buildings. So you're going to be planning the plot, where you're going to be adding a certain building, and then that building will ask for certain types of resources, and then you will provide those resources from your inventory by simply adding them like this. And there we go. That ship is now fixed.
She floats again.
And from
The
that, we
tides
are
have
getting
turned.
some carrot soup, which you can equip and you can eat by simply using the 2 key, and the 1 key will be used for potions. Let's see, go to the outpost and enforce and seal the heretic map. Kill heretics until you reach the learning point threshold of the trainee combat node. Unlock the trainee combat node with learning points and return to Captain Tia.
Show them how.
Speaking of, yes, I do need to talk a little bit about combat points. Oh, and we did gain a learning point. Okay. Yes, I'll explain it. I'll explain it myself, game. Thank you very much. So, in here. To unlock this, we need to fill up this bar. So we'll need 1,315 fame points to unlock trainee fighter. Fame is experience in this game. It's literally the experience. The early game is super confusing. Well, I'm trying to explain it right now, Zuckles. If you gain if you fill up this bar until you reach this point, you're going to be able to use learning points to fill up the rest. It's kind of like if you have a book on you, you can read the rest to fill up the stuff. Now, you gain learning points by simply being active member of the community and just doing activities within the game. And each day, if you do a daily, you're going to be receiving 10 learning points. Or if you buy premium status, you're going to be getting 20 premium points per day. For the island, you only need the lowest amount of premium, so 30 days was $12. Yes, yes, for buying the island, you'll need that. But you don't have to buy the island for you to play the game. The island is there if you want to dabble in extra stuff. That's all. Which I will definitely do. I will definitely dabble in extra stuff. But that's me. So as I said, once you reach this point, you can choose to use your learn points, which is a finite resource, or simply grind everything up to the max. I usually prefer to grind everything up, and by the time I reach and learn Journeyman Warrior... Actually, no, my bad. By the time I reach and gain these perks, afterwards I'm going to be utilizing my learning points. And I actually recommend that you only use your learning point perks and stuff on these ones, the gathering ones. The gathering ones are quite a grind, so I recommend that you save your learning points for these ones. As soon as you reach the threshold, just use your learning points to go to the next rank. The gathering ones are quite a grind, so if you want to focus on the gathering, use those learning points from there. Or if you really want to beeline towards something, just go with one of your learning points in that direction. Also, interestingly enough, you're going to be asking yourself, so what happens if I max out something? What happens if I become the most badass motherfucker when it comes to battle axes? If you reach level 100, yes, that's the max tier for any specialization. If you reach level 100 with battle axes, if you keep on using battle axes, you're going to be gaining extra currency called combat fame credit. which you can use those points to spec into anything you want. So let's say I reach Battle Axe max level, and then I keep utilizing a Battle Axe, and I gain Combat Fame. I can use that Combat Fame to further add to something that I'm currently learning. So that's a good way of promoting players to specialize in a certain direction without being feared that they're gonna pigeonhole themselves in there. So that's cool. Yeah, that's kind of it. We're learning points and talking about the Destiny board. As I said, I recommend you should go for the gathering stuff and actively utilize your learning points there, because those are quite a big grind that you need to go through. So, let's go and do some battle. The thing is, we're going to be doing some battle. We're going to be getting Trainee Fighter, and then we're going to be able to specialize in the rest of the stuff. And I'm going to be able to show you not just combat abilities. I'm going to be able to show you the Hunter weapon and the Fire magic, which, to be honest, magic is just my favorite in the game. Also, all the weapons will fill up your Q, W, and E. All weapons will give you a Q, a W, and an E ability, and a passive. In this case, because this is a tutorial weapon, a tier 1 weapon, it only gives me this one ability. So just to put that out there, all of them will give you something like that. So let's get up on the mount and go to the northeast. I feel like I'm already losing some viewers, simply because they're going away because they feel intimidated, or they simply don't have any interest within the game. Ask away, guys. So just ask Suiquels, Robson, what feels confusing, and I will explain it to you. What feels just off? Okay, and then we reached the Heretic Bandit camp, and we're gonna start duking it out a little bit. Also, you don't have to click to attack. Your character will attack automatically. So I just click once, and then it goes into an auto attack cycle where your character just attacks on its own. You just need to activate abilities manually. Once you have activated an ability, it's going to go back through. Text too small, too many texts. Too long didn't read. Well, you can make the UI bigger. If you go into the game settings interface, you can bring in the UI and make it this big, if you so desire. It's your choice. But I prefer the 80%. There we go. So you can modify this stuff. For right now, you feel like you understand everything. Okay, Robson. But still, if you do have some questions and stuff, I'm down to help. Okay, more money for the money pads. Oh, also, a thing that I really recommend that you do as soon as you enter the game, I guess it'll depend on your preference, but if you ever play League of Legends, you can quick cast your abilities by going to controls, and over here you will be able to quick cast your abilities. So for example, quick cast on button press or quick cast on button release. I prefer quick cast on button press. It just makes everything combat much faster. Game looks easy to learn, hard to master. Yes, indeed, it does give you that vibe. By the way, is the game free to play? Yes, the game is free to play friendly. The only thing that you can use with real currency, with real money, is to buy aesthetics and to pay for convenience. No, I have not played Valorant. But there is definitely play to convenience. So for example, if you have a premium status, you will be receiving some extra logs from cutting down a tree, or some bonus fame. So practically it's going to make the grind smaller, but it's not a necessity. It's definitely not a necessity. So no, sadly I don't know Valorant. I need to go to this location, and we stole the heretic maps. But I'm gonna keep on fighting until we gain, until we gain the trainee fighter node. Speaking of, how are we looking on that end? Yeah, we're almost there. And I'm actually going to be learning it right off the bat. Also, another cool thing that this game has, so it has just a tutorial quest and a in-game explanation quest. And that's it. Once you go through these two quests, the game just lets go of your hand and says, okay, good luck, have fun. It throws you outside of the nest and just makes you go do whatever the fuck you want. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this panel. So, based on the activities that you're doing, this panel will show you what each activity that you're doing contributes towards on your destiny board. So, for example, by killing that dude is going to give me more trainee fighter stuff. It's going to give me more journeyman adventurer. By cutting logs, I'm going to be working towards journeyman refiner and trainee gatherer and stuff like that. You just checked your Steam, you have 40 minutes played. Just completely forgot you even played it? Sure, man, no problem. And yep, now the game is telling me that we reached the learning point of trainee fighter. Now we can either choose to save this learning point and just grind to the maximum, or we can utilize this learning point right now. For the sake of the tutorial, I think it's gonna only let me learn it, so I'm just gonna go with that. Okay. And now that I have this, it unlocks and makes me able to learn all of the other stuff. So right now, just by learning this, it shows me what I've unlocked. What can I use now? So I can use a novice broadsword, which has these abilities. I can use a novice bow. And I've unlocked the novice fire staff. I also have a shield, a tome spell, and the basics of plate, leather, and cloth armor. Each one giving me a different ability. But we need to craft these things. We need to craft them, we need to gather resources for this equipment, and we're going to be able to get it back at base. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't have no idea why I killed those two guys, but... ah, man. I've interrupted myself. There we go. Let's go back to town. There's no Hearthstone in this game. As far as I'm aware, I've not seen a Hearthstone. Also, there's something else that I need to explain regarding the map real quick. Regarding the map, you'll see these areas. As I said, the first number shows you the tier of that location, so you're going to be finding tier 3 enemies. And then you'll also find these locations. Now, these locations are entrances to dungeons. The green ones are viable for solo play. You can still go with friends in there, but you are capable of taking them on solo. And then you have these locations, which are shining with blue. Those are for group content. You're going to be needing to find some friends, or just queue up, and you're going to be able to go through there. I'm going to explain a little bit on queuing up once we get to the mainland. Okay? So, let's go back to the base, and we're going to try and build ourselves a set of new weapons. And I'll show you what's going on with that. There we go. Yes, color, are you impressed? We need to go to the Warrior's Forge and see what you can craft there. Go to the Hunter's Lodge or go to the Mage Tower. It's practically the game's way of presenting you its weapons and its weapon system. So let's go here first. Indeed. It's actually useful to read these. Warrior's Forge will give you high defense and low damage bonuses. They add resilience and crown control, so usually plate armor will be useful for tanking and CCing. And CC is a very, very important aspect in PvP. So is there some kind of dungeon party finder where you can choose who you're going in with, or is it just completely random groups? You can either just form a party with your friends and then queue up, or you can just go for a random group, or, which is much more beneficial, you form a party with friends and you physically go in-game to that dungeon and go in. I'm going to explain, as I said, once I get to the mainland, once I get to the city. Okay, and swords, melee damage with interrupts, and a big finisher attack, and this will eventually unlock swords, hammers, maces, crossbows, and axes, and shields. Practically, the game is giving you what's up. These are all of the craftable stuff. It'll tell you the requirements for each one. And and so on and so forth. For hunters, medium defense, medium damage bonus. Leather armor adds survivability and attack speed and cooldown reduction to an armor setup. And that cooldown, attack speed, and armor reduction can be applied to any weapon that you see fit. Bows are for mobility, and if you specialize into bows, you're going to be eventually unlocking daggers, druid staffs, spears, quarterstaffs, and torches. Torches, as I've noticed, simply increase your attack speed. So, torches are practically offhands, like shields and spell tomes. Okay, and then for this location, Mage's Tower will give you low defense, but high damage bonus. So if you want to, for example, maximize damage with your daggers, you're going to be utilizing a dagger from the Hunter tree, and you're going to be equipping cloth armor because it gives you the biggest damage bonus. But if you want to focus on attack speed, you're going to be utilizing leather armor. And eventually you're going to get accustomed to each gear, what it gives you, and eventually you're going to be selecting gear based on what ability it gives you. That's also cool. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be going with fire, and then we'll be able to unlock holy magic, arcane, cursed, fire, ice, staffs, and books, which are offhand. And usually books give you cooldown reduction and cast time speed. Okay, let's return to the captain, and
You done? It's your decision.
now the game asks us to equip a tier 2 of anything. So just equip a tier 2
Take
of
your
anything.
time.
And now we have to choose what we want to craft. So I'm going to go and craft one of each, just to show you guys what's up. We can already craft a novice spell tome, so we're just going to go ahead and equip and craft that. Do we have any other resources right now? No, really. So we're gonna need a lot of everything right now. So we have to go a little bit on a farming expedition. Should be okay. Around 40 of each. Tier 2. So we're gonna start off with the forest. We're gonna be getting wood and skins, and then we're gonna go into mountains for some fiber and some ore. So right off the bat, let's go take down those birch logs. Keep going. Don't stop. Can't stop. There we go. For the sake of the tutorial, you don't have to go and build all of the weapons. I'm just building all of the weapons so I can show you guys the different playstyles. Also, the fact that you can respec by simply equipping different equipment is very, very awesome for the late game. For example, on my current character, I just have 3 types of gear on me at all times: a ranged damage dealing gear, tank gear, and healer gear. Because who knows when I'm going to be needing it. But it's your choice. It's your choice. Some people prefer just to have their daggers on them at all times. Man, stuff like that. We are specifically looking for birch logs right now. If you die, do you lose all 3 sets? No. If you die to PvE, you're just going to go unconscious a bit. Eventually, you're going to come back up. You won't be losing anything. If you die in a PvP yellow zone, again, you won't be losing anything. You're just going to be going unconscious, and then you're going to spawn back at, you're just going to come back up. Go unconscious, and then eventually you're going to come back up. You're going to pick yourself up. You also have the option of selecting, please let me die. Sorry, please let me die. That's going to spawn you back in town, but you're going to be losing all of your equipped loot. Now, if you die in a red zone or a black zone due to PvP, you are going to be losing all of your gear. So everything in your inventory will be lost. You will respawn back in town, and you're going to have to rely on money or on backup gear in the bank that you have in the bank or that you have with your guildmates to re-equip yourself. So stay away from the red and black zones until you make preparations. And usually the preparations are having backup gear that you can afford to lose. Alright, let's go to the foxes. So, what do you think of the game until now? Is it something for you? Is it something for that you might be willing to play, or might be willing to play with me? I'd be down. Haven't chosen a faction yet. You're not... And actually, I do recommend that you don't join a faction and you don't join a guild. Because being part of the guild, you'll need to pay taxes. Sorry, not play. Pay taxes. And you're going to need to help out with the guild, with different stuff. So, as soon as you're going to be reaching the mainland, you're going to be getting bombarded with guild invites. Don't accept them, because some people go with 100% tax just to fool new players into joining, and thus paying a big pile of cash and just extorting them of money. So be careful how you choose your guild, and also be careful how you choose your faction, because if you join a faction, all other factions will be actively be able to attack you. So PvP will be active. That's it. Should I talk about forms of PvP next? There's arenas that you can go for, ranked arenas, where you can go 5v5, 5 players versus 5 players. There's ganking, where you literally go into the yellow, red, and black zones and you gank lone gatherers for loot. Yeah, I can see your rogues out there with your eyes shining. I know what's up. There's Zerg versus Zerg, where, so let me explain Zerg versus Zerg. A Zerg is a big mob, or a big party of players that are just roaming through the yellow and red and black zones, and they're hunting down other players. They go into a group, so they can, be powerful, be strong. They also get marked on the map, so if you are in those zones, you'll see a blob of red moving around on the map. As soon as multiple players stay near each other and they work together, they're going to be marked on the map as Zerg. Well, Zerg groups. So you'll be able to stay away from them to the best of your capabilities. Or to outsmart them and stuff like that. What else? There's guild versus guild. There's faction versus faction. I think that those are kind of self-explanatory. Factions versus factions will usually fight for nodes. Guild versus guilds will usually fight for cities and, again, territories. So that's it. It's a term that is being used by players. It's not a term coined by the game itself. The players have decided to call these groups Zergs. So no, not copywritten by Blizzard. Okay, let's see how much stuff do we got. 51 birch, 60 rugged hide. I think we'll be okay with that amount. If we'll need more, we're gonna go find more. Next up, let's go inside the mountain and do the same. We're gonna be getting around 50 ore with... I can go through the exit. Okay, right. Let's see what I can build with just this type of stuff.
Good hunt.
So all of that stiff leather, right?
Goodbye.
And all of that plank. Good. And then we'll most likely be able to get out and gather more stuff. So, right here, we're going to be looking for specifically cotton and copper until we reach around 50 in each. There we go. Let's see, something else that I need to explain about the game. Yes, I guess I can start off explaining about expeditions. So in each city you'll find a portal that is kind of a random dungeon fighter system, where you can either go on a solo expedition. It literally generates a, oh, we're a Trini Gatherer now. That's great. So we've unlocked this Trini Gatherer, and that gives us the usage of tier 2 tools, which will in turn let us harvest tier 3 goods and make all harvesting faster. So that's cool. So I was talking about, yes, expeditions. So these portals can either generate a solo dungeon for you that's going to give you a quick buck. You can either queue up with your friends or queue up with random party members to go for randomly generated dungeons. But I am going to state this. These generated dungeons from expeditions will give you less rewards, but they are easier to do than if you go outside in the world and physically go to existing dungeons of the world. Yes, indeed. No, actually, it is a perk tree and a to-do list at the same time, Sharky. So, getting Trainee Fighter allows me to utilize this gear. Specializing into Journeyman Armor gives me access, and I'm going to be able to equip Tier 3 Mercenary stuff. If I unlock Boots, then it's going to give me a wide selection of boots. But specifically, if I go for, let's say, the Mace, at level 3, I'm going to be able to learn Snare Charge. At level 6, I'm going to be able to learn the pass and choose the passive. Every normal attack restores me 2 energy. Energy is literally mana for everything in the game. And so on and so forth. At level 20, I'm going to be able to get the passive Life Leech, which every 15% of my normal attack damage will give me Life Steal on my character. So, as I said, it's both a perk and a to-do list. Let's finally get ourselves some copper. There's no way to fast travel in the early game. You're kind of lost right now and have no idea where you should go. Tell me, where are you located right now? Tell me the location of the map. So press your M key and reset your camera so you know where you are. Some kind of desert area. Okay, so you're in a desert area. Most likely you went to Umbrash somewhere. And if we scroll in, you should have spawned from Stepcross. Yeah, so you started from Stepcross, and then from Stepcross you either went to Gopher's Knoll, to Prospector's Hope, or to Fractured Ground. Now, can you press the M key and click on Reset Camera, and that's going to show you where you're currently located. So equals. Please do so. Let's get ourselves that good shit, copper. 27, we'll need more than that. You are in Prospector's Hope. Okay, so from Prospector's Hope, you click on the map. You can open this map automatically from your normal screen by pressing the N key. It'll show you an arrow where you are located, and then it'll show you the directions of where you can go. These locations are the solo content dungeons. Those arrows will show you in which direction you can travel. So if you take the southwest arrow, you're going to be going back to Stepcross. If you're going to be taking the northwest one, you're going to go to Fractured Ground. If you take the southeast, you're going to be going all the way to Steelhide Meadow. And so on and so forth. I recommend that you go back to Stepcross in the west, because you might have quite a bit of gear in there. Okay, I think this pile should be enough. Started the game and it's already hyper fun. Okay, glad it is, my dude. Glad it is. It's not for everyone. I will say right off the bat, this is a niche game. It's not for everyone. But if you don't like games holding your hand and you want to make your own path and you want to make your own decisions, this is a good game for you. Okay, let's go back. We have all of the gear that we need. No problem, Kiwi. No problem. And, let me know in which location you want to go for. I'm still deciding on which city to make my main city.
All good?
Right, we need to go and refine this stuff.
Excuse me?
And we need to make ourselves some gear. Nope. We need to make the cotton into simple cloth. Right, and now we're going to go to the crafting stations to make our weapons. We're going to make the weapons right off the bat. So, my dude, give me thy good sword. Give me the novice broadsword.
All right.
And give me a novice shield.
Good choice.
Good. And give me the bow. And give me the... I knew it! I knew that I didn't have enough birch. Literally one. One birch plank. God damn it. Oh, I do have one rough... Nah, that's rough log. Will be helpful. Okay, let's just build the rest of the stuff. Give me the armor. There we go. Give me the leather. Give me the chest piece. Good. And give me the... Probably not gonna have enough for this. Yeah, I don't have enough for the boots. I have to come back. But we have quite a little bit of weapons to equip. We sort it by clicking on the sword skill. We can already upgrade. So first of all, I'm gonna be choosing the type of abilities that I want on my novice broadsword. And reading through the abilities will give you an idea of the type of build that you can go for. So in this case, you can still choose from Heroic Strike and Heroic Cleave. Now, if you're gonna go for more, if you want to focus on single target damage, definitely go for Heroic Strike. If you want to go for AoE, which I do recommend in the early game, go for Heroic Cleave. You're gonna be getting Interrupt, so interrupts the enemy's spell casting and deals quite a decent amount of damage. And additionally, your normal attack damage is increased by 20% for each heroic charge on you. So to a maximum of 3 stacks. So you're going to be gaining a 60% boost if you have 3 stacks of heroic charge. So all of these abilities will synergize with each other. Then we got Mighty Blow. This is a charge ability. You're literally going to be jumping towards the target. You're going to be interrupting their spell casting, and it's going to be consuming your heroic charge stack and convert them into higher damage. So it's literally... At 3 stacks and you use Mighty Blow, you're going to max out the damage potential of this ability. So you can use it as a burst tool. In this case, I'm going to go with Heroic Cleave, Interrupt, and Mighty Blow. It really doesn't give me the other options, and we're going to go with the passive. This will always be your passive on the weapon. Deep Cuts. Every 4 normal attacks, you inflict a bleeding on the enemy. This deals an additional 29 per second for 1.5 seconds. I'll be able to unlock Weakening once I have a higher understanding of swords in general. So we're going to be getting that. We're going to be adding the new armor. We're going to be putting the novice helmet on. This novice helmet gives me stone skin and toughness. We're going to be adding the chest piece, which again I need to select between Mend Wounds, which is a regen health spell that you can use when out of combat, or Fury, which gives me a 7 damage bonus and a 4% crown control duration bonus every time you take damage, and it charges up to 10 times. So this is, again, you want the enemy to attack you. Very, very platey of you. Also gives me the passive and incoming damage reduction, and Spirit Crush. So normal attacks apply a debuff on the mob, which reduces its max health by 12%. Again, this is a very, very tanky-oriented armor set. Okay, and we don't have the boots yet, but we are going to be equipping something else. We're going to be equipping Novice Mercenary Shoes, in this case. And, well, we did complete the quest because we've equipped all of our gear. Also, your gear is visible on your character. And the higher gear you have, the sexier you'll look. And we already have all of our abilities equipped. Okay, so let's test out this ability first.
You are what you wear.
I'm gonna complete this quest.
Let's do this.
There we go. Gain my cape. The cape will also give you certain stuff. It'll give you more maximum energy, more energy regeneration, and as you get better capes, you're gonna be fine. Just created a poll on Tailsword 4 Max and for custom troops. Hope they can think about it. That would be nice. So for starters, let me just go ahead and show you guys this type of build, and then I'm going to show you the rest of the abilities. The reason why I went with the weapons first is literally to show you all of the fighting styles that you're going to be going for in the early game, until you unlock exactly what you want. So I still need some extra wood, 1 more birch log so I can make the magic staff. Real quick. Just to have that ready as well. It's crazy how many people are playing the tutorial right now. Oh my god. Wait until you see the main cities, Kiwi. It is hugely populated. It's stupidly populated. Good. Now we have enough wood to finally build that fire style as well. Oh shit. No, never mind. We need some copper bars. Need some copper bars though. Let's go. Also, the quest practically tells us to go and eliminate the heretic fort. And then they're gonna come by with their ship and take my ass out of there. Let's grab some more copper. Around... I'm not as clear sure how much. That'd be great. What do we need? We need the boots. And... yeah, okay, so 8. With another 10, so... this one and that one, and we're good. Also, you don't have to do this. You just want yourself to buy yourself a tier 2 set, whichever weapons, and you get the fuck off of the island. Right now, I'm just showing you guys all of the current basic fighting styles. Find the weapons that you go for. Okay, so back on the horsey we go. Go back, craft the rest of the gear that we need, and then get off the island. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Forge.
At your service.
Fuck yeah, you're at my service. There, and... that's the other thing that we got? No, nothing else. We didn't need anything else. So, over here I need boots.
Right.
Good. And I'll need... not as fire starters. Good. Now we have everything we need. Arrange everything by usage. Can I disenchant already from the tool shop?
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that's just accessories. Damn it. Okay. Lame.
Very well.
Yes, you have bags that will simply increase your inventory capacity, so I do recommend that you get those, but not a priority right now. Let's just go to the mountain base and show you the abilities. Or, well, the 3 archetypes that you're going to be unlocking at the beginning of the game, right off the bat. So, let's go. I can see on the map right now where I need to go to. That's what I know. There's the fort, full of enemies, ready to get butcheralized by me. So let's get gas. Just because we just got off the mount, we have to walk around, and now we can fight. So we're going to be stacking up our Q ability. Which is going to increase our damage and combat speed. Good, and now we can use this to charge. There we go, to do extra damage, and we'll interrupt any spell casting if need be. So pretty straightforward. As I said, it maxes out your defense. You're not going to be doing much damage, but that's it. You also don't have really a very big weakness, because you can just charge wherever you want. Hey, Biscuit Cake, welcome back to the inn. How are ya? There we go. Double kill. Okay, so that's it for this. You're tired? I'm sorry to hear that. Grab some rest. Let's equip ourselves the leather now. And we're going to go for the bow. For the leather chest piece, it can either give us Mend Wounds, exactly like the plate version, and Inferno Shield. Covers the caster with a flaming shield, increasing resistance by 54, and reflecting 30% of incoming damage back to the attacker as true damage. So that's cool. And will also give me an increase in damage, and also a damage reduction. So as I said, as the tutorial said, a middle ground. So let's go with Inferno Shield in this case. Okay, we already have the Merc stuff. But just for the sake of utilizing the plate that we just built, we're going to go with this, which is going to give me the Rejuvenating Sprint, So as I use this, it'll give me a burst of movement speed and regenerate health at the same time. So let's go with that. And the headpiece will give me Howl to keep the enemies at bay. If you had a strange day, do share. Okay, let's equip the bow. So we can either go with multi-shot or deadly shot. Actually, I'm going to go with deadly shot because I really, really like it. Multi-shot is practically you're going to be spreading out arrows in a cone. But we already have the explosive arrows, which gives us AoE, so we're okay with the AoE. And then we have the enchanted quiver, which gives us a steroid attack speed buff. And the deadly shot, which gives us a penetrating arrow that kills everything on a line. It's a skill shot. And with slow poison, that's our passive. Every normal attack will slow creatures by 40% and players by 10% for a little bit of time. So, let's get cracking. There we go. Activate our flame shield, just to reflect some damage. Cut through them. And I'm going to be activating my attack speed steroid in a sec. Okay. Utilize F a little bit to regen. Go for attack speed steroid and W at the same time, so we do AoE and further attack speed. There we go. Quite the Ashe vibes from League of Legends, to be honest. Or actually, no, never mind. It's quite the Varus vibes with the Q ability. If we took the other ability, it would be the other way around. Okay, that's a dude with a druidic staff who's healing his friend. Just gonna focus him down. And there we go. As you can clearly see, we take a lot more damage than we would have done with the other stuff. And of course, these abilities are not locked in place. You can modify them at any time, but you will go into a small little cooldown on all of your abilities, just so you can't abuse the system. So, that's perfectly fine. Let's just play around with this a little bit. Also, the bow is a very, very popular solo weapon. Simply because you go through enemies so fast with DPS. Some damage. Since we have our AoE ability on cooldown, our other AoE ability. There we go. And now let's show you the magic option. Let's go Novice Firestarter with that. So I can either select Firebolt, which should replace your auto attack with, well, it's not going to replace your auto attack, but it's meant to replace it. You need to manually use Firebolt. It's practically a higher single target damage, but I really, really like Burning Fields. They're very good for PvE, fighting against monsters. So it's going to give me Burning Fields, which is an AoE fire damage spell. It's going to give me Ignite for a burst damage on the character, and a Pyroblast, which is a long cast time high damage spell, which you use as a starter in battle. And then Burn, every normal attack sets the enemy on fire, dealing an additional 13 per second for 2 seconds. So practically a burn effect on the enemy. So let's go ahead and equip that stuff. We're going to be getting Frost Shield in this case, or we can gain Mend Wounds. The enemies will only attack me if I move, so you can prepare for combat even in the middle of the enemy base. Let's go. Oh, never mind. They got close enough. Well then, that means I gotta fight them. I think that's the first time I've seen that happen. There we go. Really, really like the fire dude. So let me just equip all of the cloth options. So the headpiece is going to give me another force field, which knocks all enemies back and give me increasing damage. What the hell is going on? Oh, a special enemy. That's a giant catapult slash trebuchet thing. Hey Slayer Peach, welcome back to the end, dude. Let me just finish equipping everything. What does my boots give me? Faster mana regen and movement speed. Okay, that's cool. And let's now show you the ability in combat. Let's go for it. Pyroclasm, I think that's gonna one-shot the enemy. Oh no, almost one-shotting the enemy. There we go. And let's just get off of the island now. Carry on with this stuff. You woke up being a bit on a bad mood, then your mood fixed after you fixed a game. Prepare for next week, then you said to meet a friend somewhere and you wanted to get to the next bus. But didn't arrive at all. Then you got on another bus and went to the tube station, and the auto didn't recognize your move, and you missed your tube. And while the door opened, you had to wait 10 minutes for the next one. And they turned bad, but now it's fine though. I feel like there's a lot of small things that simply annoy you. So go down, burn all of them in AoE. Do not use Pyroclasm since it has such a high cast time because there's no need. And now the next fight that we're going to be engaging in will be with our Pyroclasm. Is it? No, Pyroblast. It's not Pyroclasm. Wait, can you give me a little refresher on what I should do with your learning points? I recommend that you keep your learning points and just spend them on the gathering stuff. You have one, keep it. Spend it on gathering stuff. Or if you really want to spec and specialize into something very, very fast. Strange? No, not really strange at all. Just small things that stacked up and give you the impression that it was a bad day. That's what I would say happened right there. I know, unpopular opinion. Okay, let's speed these boys up. AoE under their feet, and it's gonna... They're literally standing in the fire right now. Also, this doesn't affect you. Your spells and your allies' spells don't affect you. You actually love gathering? Okay, then you choose where to use it. Let's make their ammunition go boom. And we're getting out of there. So, what do you plan on doing to relax and unwind this good gig? Spread out some love. Go for an ignite on that dude, just for some extra passive damage. Activate Frost Armor to reflect and slow the attack speed of the enemy. There we go. Good. Also, so as you can see, I have some problems with my HP. What should I do? Well, I recommend adding, let's see, add the plate chest piece, which is going to give me the Mend Wounds ability. So, I just wait. You feel like the game is kind of grindy? It is. But as I said, you don't have to grind for your gear. You can buy all of your gear from the marketplace. You can just go on adventures and kill stuff and mobs. And that's it. Then to know you played Albion, remember seeing your Warband memes? If you got any questions in the game, I'm in Elevate. We just won the season. Congratulations, Ascended. I did see the announcements that you guys won the season, so kudos, man. Kudos. You can max out in 2 weeks if you keep on playing, yes. Okay, so let's light the fire. This is literally a stream to explain people the basics of the game. Ship's gonna come in, and we're gonna go off to the main continent. Just speed it up. Maxing out is important from tomorrow. There's new weapons coming out and a real balance. Ooh, nice! Can't wait. Looking forward to some new weapons. Also, maxing out was never important in the game. You literally specialize in whatever you want to specialize in.
Albion is waiting.
Okay, so let's talk to our navigator and choose our first location. And this is the last explanation that I need to give you guys regarding the tutorial. If you've already decided on which you want to specialize in, so for example, if you want to specialize into a mage, into magic, and you're going to be going for more cloth, I recommend that you go for the swamp. The swamp will give you a vast amount of fiber, hide, and wood, which is excellent for your gear. If you want to go for plate users, you want to go to the mountain. It's going to give you a lot of ore, stone, and fiber, which is, again, helpful for your gear. Also, in the mountains, you're going to have a little location for wood, easily accessible. If you're going to want to go for more leather, for a more leathery approach, you're going to be going for the highlands, or no, actually for the steppes. The steppes gives you a lot of hide, fiber, and ore resources. And if you want to go for more wood-like weapons like bows and stuff like that, you're going to want to go into a forest. It's going to give you, again, a lot of wood, hide, and that's it. Each location has its own capital. Each biome has its own capital and its own faction, and you can decide to either join or simply roam the lands and join whatever one you want. That's it. In this case, let's go to the swamps. Why not? We're gonna buy the journey. Did any other person hear his voice clear or not? Because in my case, for some reason, it has a cracking. Is it me or is it not? I think it sounds normal to everyone. Somebody else would have already mentioned it. Okay, so we're here. We've now reached this location. Right here. And this is where our adventures begin. There are a little extra tutorial quests in this area, but that's going to be it for today, guys. So, if you like what I do, hit that follow button. We'll have spam. Oh, no. Before I go, I'm just literally going to explain all of the tabs real quick. Sorry about that. Literally explain all of the tabs. So, you got Party Finder, where you can choose based on item level to find dudes with similar needs. You can go to the arena, and you can go with solo queue or with group battles. It'll tell you the exact requirements. You'll need an item power soft cap of 700, and then you'll be able to join. You can either join as a fighter or as a healer. What else do we got? Adventurous Challenge. These are your dailies. So doing dailies, you're going to be getting some extra learning points and some extra combat specialization for whatever you have equipped. Also, you have some monthly dailies that you can go towards. And Guild Challenge. You'll need to be part of the guild to do this. Also, we got Mailbox, Inventory Screen. This is your guild panel. You'll be able to see your guild battles here and literally a list with all of the guilds that you can apply for. I'm not going to show in which order it's going to show you them, but you'll see. You can also create a guild for yourself. You like the cartoon-like graphics? If you ever consider playing again a MMO, you'll look into this one. It's a good one. What else do we got here? Rankings and seasonal rankings for everyone and everything regarding a fame and guilds. Then you got your friends list, which will be empty at the beginning of the game, but if you do some random dungeon fighters or literally meet people and be social in the game, you will literally find friends. Yes, I know, social in a video game, holy shit. It's not really my style, 100% honest. I am usually not very, very social. I don't actively seek out people. Just do I just let my skills do the talking. Okay. And what else do we got here? We got the gold market, so you can literally utilize gold to buy silver within the game. But to be honest, this is not really pay to win, because you don't really do a lot with silver. You can literally just gather, because you'll most likely use that silver to buy stuff in the game, and a lot of stuff are very, very expensive. Also, you can utilize silver to buy gold. So on and so forth, so it's vice versa. Okay, and then you have the premium status. You can get premium with gold and with silver. So yeah, you can just buy yourself the premium status. It's not that big of a deal. It will also show you here exactly what you're going to be getting by buying the premium status. Ability to buy islands, 50% silver and loot from mobs, 50% gathering yield, 100% crop yield, 100% farm, animal, and growth rate, and 50% reduced market tax. Hey, Warboy. Yeah, playing some Albion. It's quite a relaxing game. I really, really enjoy it. And then you got the Albion store, which you're gonna be finding, premium stuff and stuff, which you can buy with real money. Entropia. Never played the game called Entropia. Nah, dude. That's literally the interface. Of course, you also have the in-game settings screen where you can claim rewards and find friends, stuff like that. Close application, which I'm going to be doing in a second. And that's it. Destiny board is from here or by pressing the B key. And then you can check the challenges section, royal, stuff like that. N key is to open the local map. M key is to open the world map. Zooming in and clicking on any region will open the local map as well. There you go. Why did I want to... well, let's say I want to specialize into magic and into cloth. The swamp will be able to provide me with a lot of fiber, wood, and leather that I'm going to be utilizing for my gear. I'm also going to be needing some ore and some wood, but I'm sure I'm going to be able to find some trees to cut down around here, so all's good. There we go. I remember a few months ago when you said in chat that you were playing this, and you asked me if it was worth checking out. Indeed, I did. And you were one of the person who told me that it's worth checking out, and I remembered that, and then I went and checked it out. By checking. So yeah, that's kind of all I need to explain for you guys to literally get started with the game. So if you want to get into the game, reach out to me. My character's name is Reval, so you can easily find me, and we can hook up and start playing. Would be down. This is all a plan for me to convince you to come and play with me. Yes, but yeah, my dude's name is literally Reval, and I'm still exploring the game out myself. But those are the basics. No servers, just one server. There are two servers actually, one server and a test server, and I'm on the normal server. No, it's not a scheme to create a guild, because I really don't plan on creating a guild, just not yet. Okay, maybe Thickland. I'll think about it. But yeah, that is going to be it for today, guys. If you like what I do, hit the follow button. If you want to further support me, also subscribe. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. Really helps out with the algorithm. And I'll see you guys tomorrow when we're going to be playing Bannerlord. That's it, and I wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.